How's it going? It's Jeff from jeffrey-thomas.com, and let's take a look at Taylor Swift's Today Was a Fairy Tale. So copy this out off my website and we can follow through together. This pop country genre has a ton of guitar parts on it. Either doubled acoustic guitar parts, electric guitar parts, mandolin, fiddle, you name it. So what I've tried to do is get you the parts from the recording and make it kind of stand on its own. So getting started, I have a G chord here, and I'm writing all the downstrokes with a little staple and all the upstrokes with like an arrow thing. So walking you through this intro slowly, it's single notes. Okay, and that brings us to a C add 9 augmented 11th chord. A lot of people are missing that. That's definitely on the recording, and it's... So what you're doing is you're down, up, taking the pinky off, and then putting the pinky back down. Okay. Then single notes again to E minor 7. Okay, and that little glitch there is an upstroke on just open notes, and it allows you to switch to the D over A. Okay, so let me walk you through those first two measures really slow again. Ready, go. Continuing on, third measure. And this time we go to regular C add 9. Okay. Next line, E minor 7. And then and that takes you to the verse. So the verse is going to start with G. Second measure of the verse, E minor 7. And finish with the D sus4 over A, which is just putting your pinky down, and it's the only difference between D over A and D sus4 is that pinky. Okay, then you see the double bar and the double dots. That means you repeat the verse again. So let's go through that slow. Okay, nice and easy. E minor 7. And I'm using 2 downstrokes on the end there. Okay, now right at that point, that acoustic guitar part with that chord progression continues. But an electric guitar part comes in and does the melody. And I'm sure it's up around 7th position, but I wrote it for you here in 1st position so you can kind of keep it happening here. So, going to the guitar melody, which is the 3rd line down in the notation that I have, you're going to be ending with... Remember, you're going to be leaving this D sus4 over A chord and then jumping into the guitar melody. So I have the guitar melody starting with your pinky. Okay, then the next measure. 3rd measure. And then... Okay, so I'll run that little guitar melody for you with... the metronome at 60. Ready, go. 3, 4. And then So that's a grace note. It's an instant slide, and they're usually written, well, they're always written as a little note, looks like an eighth note with a dash through it. That's a grace note. So in this case, we have a slide from 3 to 7 with the second finger, and it's instantly on beat 2. Okay, so there's the little interruption of the guitar melody, and then you're back into strumming, which would be back to a G chord. Now there's a cool little trick that the acoustic guitar is doing on the recording, and once again it's with the grace note here, but on a C add 9 chord. So see how I'm hammering my first finger down to the second fret, and it's also written as a grace note, but this time it's a hammer-on instead of a slide. So let me run there from the G for you slow. Continuing on, we are on the 4th line down, ending 1, E minor 7. When you run ending 1 again. It continues with straight 16th notes there, sorry about that. It goes... back up to the G. Okay, this time ending 2. So we are on E minor 7. And then, now at the last beat of this measure we have okay, so let me explain that slow. You're starting with a D over A, hammering the pinky down to the 3rd fret, which would be like D sus4 over A, pulling off back to the 2, and then picking the 3 that you already have down on the 2nd string. So that really slow is... So I hope you don't mind me going through these movements really slow, because I know maybe a lot of people are really beginner. If this is too easy for you, then I'm sorry, but I want to break it down for people that are new to stuff like this. And that's definitely how you want to practice it. You may even want to take it slower, like, because you've got to get that pinky to sound first, and then once you get it to sound, you've got to pull off, and then you've got to go back to the 2nd string and pick that note. Okay, so that takes us to the pre-chorus. Hang in there. Starting with C add 9. E minor 7. D over A. C add 9. Into the chorus. So let me run the pre-chorus all the way through the chorus. Okay, and when we hit the chorus, we're going to repeat. Alright? So pre-chorus to the chorus. Ready, go. E minor 7, D. Again. Right? Okay, so the tune has a lot of little tricky things in it that you could leave out. You don't have to play them, but I think it's kind of cool to go over them and make sure that you're understanding them. Like the first one that I would definitely work with my students on is this C add 9 augmented 11th up here, like the 3rd beat of the first measure, where you're going get used to that chord. Okay, so it's the pinky off and then on. Actually, it's starting, let me run it from the very beginning. That's what you would practice. Super slow? Okay, so it's the pinky down, then off, and then back on. Okay, that's the first thing that I would point out and have students work on. Continuing forward, where's the next area that's kind of interesting? Oh, the grace note from here. Make sure you've got that happening. The next thing is after the guitar melody, this grace note thing for C add 9. Okay, you want to make sure that you've got that kind of cool. Alright, the next one is ending 2. The last beat of ending 2 where you go. Okay, a lot of more advanced guitar players have no problem with that, but for the beginners, so it's the D over A chord, hammering the pinky down, pulling the pinky off back to 2, and then playing the second string alone. Okay, cool. So those are little areas to work, and if you're really beginner, then it would be a matter of forming the chords and making the switching. G, C add 9 augmented 11th, E minor 7, D over A, to D sus4. Just basically practicing how to get these chords to sound clear. A lot of people like Taylor Swift, a lot of people love Taylor Swift, and I'm totally cool with that. A lot of my students do. But to play this stuff, even though it's like beginning, it sounds simple, there's definitely a lot going on, and I think that's probably good for me to point out, right? So anyway, I hope this wasn't too boring, and I hope it didn't move too slow for you. Keep in mind I'm teaching on Skype, Uvu, Yahoo Messenger, Windows Live with webcam, so we can hook up and do some further study. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.